Well, hello there. Welcome back to the channel. My name is James, and here at 20th and 21st Movies, we are about all things cinema. Well, today we're going to continue our Taste Directors series. This is a monthly series that we do here on this channel, 20th and 21st Movies, where we'll turn the spotlight on a specific director, and we'll talk a little bit about that director's background and share 3 or 4 films from that director's filmography to give you a taste of what that director has to offer. Now, this is a monthly series that we do on this channel, and if you happen to be finding this channel for the first time and you have absolutely no idea who I am, my name is James. I do a lot of physical media and classic and contemporary movie coverage here on YouTube on this channel, 20th and 21st Movies. I'm a lover of classic and contemporary films, so I love talking about films released by the Criterion Collection, Arrow Video, Kino Lorber, those boutique labels, as well as films released by the major studios. So if you're into classic and contemporary film discussion, you like all things movies, you're definitely in the right place. Consider subscribing to this channel and liking this video if you enjoy this type of content. One of the things that we do every month on this channel is this Taste Director series. So this month, we're turning the spotlight on a director that I'll confess right up front, I definitely want to explore more of this director's filmography. I've only seen a few of his films, but the more I see of Paul Thomas Anderson's films, the more I want to get into his filmography. So today's Taste of Director series is Taste of Paul Thomas Anderson films. So for me, I consider this to be the early stages of me diving more into this director's work, because like I said, I've only seen a few of Paul Thomas Anderson or PTA's films. But let's talk a little bit about this director, Paul Thomas Anderson, who he is, some of the films that he has made for us, and we'll focus on 4 films from his filmography. So right off the top, Paul Thomas Anderson or PTA was born in 1970. He was one of the first of the video store generation of filmmakers. This is off of IMDb. His father was the first man on his block to own a VCR, and from a very early age, Anderson had an infinite number of titles available to him. While filmmakers like Spielberg cut their teeth making 8mm films, Anderson cut his teeth shooting films on video and editing them VCR to VCR. So he developed an interest in filmmaking from a very young age. He made his feature film debut with Hard 8 in 1996. He found critical and commercial success with Boogie Nights in 1997 and received further accolades with Magnolia in 99 and Punch Drunk Love, a romantic comedy drama film. So his films are often characterized as being psychological dramas, and they include depictions of flawed and desperate characters. They explore themes such as dysfunctional families, alienation, loneliness, and redemption. And his films tend to have a very bold visual style to them. So that's very much unique to PTA style. So that's part of what really draws me into his films. Of course, seeing a couple of the films that I've checked out from him already and having seen a piece of one of the films I'm going to talk about here in just a moment, I'm definitely drawn into this filmmaker's work and want to hear in the comment section below what some of his favorite films are that you love. What are some of your favorite Paul Thomas Anderson films? Let me know that in the comments. But he was born in 1970. In Los Angeles, California, and interestingly enough, he is married to actress Maya Rudolph, who I remember her being on Saturday Night Live, skits, and she's appeared in a number of movies, and they have 4 children together. So that's a little bit about Paul Thomas Anderson. Now, the 4 films that I'm going to focus on, 4 films. Again, this is Taste of Director series. We focus on 3 to 4 films for each director in these little segments that we do. And the reason for that is we know that 3 to 4 films isn't going to give you the full depth and breadth of what a director has done, especially if they've been doing this for a number of decades. But the idea is just to provide a taste of what that director has to offer and what they've contributed to the world of cinema. So the 4 films that I've selected to cover this Taste of Paul Thomas Anderson films are as follows. Magnolia from 1999. I do not have this film on physical media. This is one of the films of his that I'm going to talk about that I have not yet seen. I've heard good things about it. So we'll take a moment to talk a little bit about Magnolia, and I want to hear what you all think of this film and if you are a fan of Magnolia. Also, Punch Drunk Love that I have up here. This menu, of course, I have the Criterion Collection edition of Punch Drunk Love, starring Adam Sandler and Emily Watson. So that's an interesting film that I saw a number of years ago that I need to revisit, but Punch Drunk Love from 2002. We also have There Will Be Blood. So this is the 2007 film starring Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Dano. I do not have that film on physical media. I'm actually waiting for that to get a 4K Ultra HD release. So is anyone hearing any rumors about that? When will we see There Will Be Blood on 4K? Let's talk about that. That is a film that is loosely based on a 1927 novel called Oil from Upton Sinclair. And then the last film that we'll talk about is a film that I saw earlier this year that I got on Blu-ray that I'm actually disappointed wasn't released on 4K, and it's Licorice Pizza. This is the 2021 film. It's the 9th feature film from director Paul Thomas Anderson, and this stars Alana Haim and Cooper Hoffman, the son of Philip Seymour Hoffman. So this is a really, really cool film. Nice film from 2021. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Of course, the first film is Magnolia. This is a film from 1999, and from what I understand, it's a mosaic of interrelated lives in the San Fernando Valley. And so seems, it's interesting that Paul Thomas Anderson was born in Los Angeles, California, and it looks like a number of his stories are based in the San Fernando Valley. I believe Licorice Pizza is also based in the same area. And so he seems to, like to feature stories from that area of California. And this is an all-star ensemble cast that includes Tom Cruise. And when you look at the trailer, it looks like it's a really nice mishmash of different lives, sort of all intersecting together. They relate to one another in mysterious ways. And as the story and narrative progresses, you get to understand a little bit better how all of these people relate to one another and how they come together. So I have not seen this film, but I definitely look forward to seeing it. And based on the description I see on IMDb and seeing the trailer, it looks like a really interesting one. But let me know in the comment section, are you a fan of Magnolia from PTA? And if so, where does Magnolia fit in his filmography for you? But this is one that, like I said before, this is going to be a discovery for me. I'm very much looking forward to checking out this film, Magnolia. Here's a quote that Paul Thomas Anderson himself said about Magnolia. He said, "I have a feeling, one of those gut feelings, I'll make pretty good movies the rest of my life. And maybe I'll make some clunkers and maybe I'll make some winners. But I guess the way that I really feel is that Magnolia is, for better or worse, the best movie I'll ever make." So that's directly from PTA. I'll let you be the judge of whether or not you agree with the director and his words. So that's Magnolia from 1999, which then brings us to the next film that we'll talk about. And that is the film that we have the menu up here for this 2002 film starring Adam Sandler and Emily Watson, and it is Punch Drunk Love. So this is an interesting film. I saw this a few years ago when I picked up this Criterion Collection release. And this is the 2002 film from Paul Thomas Anderson. It stars Adam Sandler as a man dealing with social anxiety who falls in love with a co-worker's sister, I believe. And that's played by Emily Watson in this film. This was written and directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. Of course, Paul Thomas Anderson has been nominated for, I believe, 11 Academy Awards, multiple Golden Globe nominations. He's been nominated as a writer, as a director. He's gotten at least 3 Best Director nominations, and he has just been recognized for really pretty much every film he's put out has gotten critical acclaim on some level. So Punch Drunk Love is no exception to that. Let me take a moment to read the back of the Criterion case. It says, "Punch Drunk Love. Chaos lurks in every corner of this giddily off-kilter foray into romantic comedy by Paul Thomas Anderson. Struggling to cope with his erratic temper, novelty toilet plunger salesman Barry Egan, Adam Sandler, demonstrating remarkable versatility in his first dramatic role. I really love Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems. He is completely off the rails in that film. Wow, what a powerful film. Let me know in the comments if you like Uncut Gems. He's playing a different character in this film, Punch Drunk Love. He spends his days collecting frequent flyer mile coupons and dodging the insults of his 7 sisters. The promise of a new life emerges when Barry inadvertently attracts the affection of a mysterious woman named Lena, played by Emily Watson. But their budding relationship is threatened when he falls prey to the swindling operator of a phone sex line and her deranged boss, played with maniacal brio by Philip Seymour Hoffman, the late, great Philip Seymour Hoffman. Fueled by the careening momentum of a Baroque futurist score by John Brion, the Cannes award-winning Punch Drunk Love channels the spirit of classic Hollywood and the whimsy of Jacques Tati into an idiosyncratic ode to the delirium of new romance. So this is a film that I need to actually revisit because it has been a while since I've seen it. But it is an interesting film. It shows Adam Sandler in a dramatic role. And it's just one of those types of films that really shows the writing talents of Paul Thomas Anderson that I definitely appreciate. But I definitely want to revisit this film because it's been a while since I've seen this film in its entirety. So Punch Drunk Love, which then brings us to a film that I'm really wanting to see get a 4K Ultra HD release, because I really believe that 4K Ultra HD with Dolby Vision of There Will Be Blood is something that a lot of people would be very, very, very excited about if that's ever announced. But this is the 2007 film from Paul Thomas Anderson. It's loosely based on a novel from 1927 called Oil from Upton Sinclair. This movie stars Daniel Day-Lewis. Daniel Day-Lewis won the Academy Award for Best Actor for this film, as well as the cinematographer who was Robert Elswith. He won Best Cinematography for this film. And basically, Daniel Day-Lewis plays oil prospector Daniel Plainview. He adopts a young boy whose father was killed in this business that he was involved with, and he adopts a young boy. His name is HW, and he goes traveling around and trying to build his business around the oil business. And he butts heads with Paul Dano's character. Paul Dano plays twin brothers Eli Sunday and Paul Sunday in this movie, and they butt heads, and their rivalry brings them to basically the blows and threatens their lives. And this is just an amazingly interesting film, well shot film, beautiful cinematography, incredibly well acted by Daniel Day-Lewis, and just a very fascinating and interesting story that really highlights his character and the depth of evil that this man would go to get what he wants. So definitely highly recommend There Will Be Blood. It's been a long time since I've seen this film. I've only seen parts of this movie. I have not seen it in its entirety, but what I have seen, you definitely get an appreciation for the intensity of Daniel Day-Lewis's performance. But I'm looking forward to seeing this film in its entirety when it's released on 4K Ultra HD. So let me know in the comments section, are you anxiously awaiting There Will Be Blood coming out on 4K Ultra HD? And if so, have you heard any news or potential rumors of when that could possibly happen? Let me know that in the comment section below. But that's There Will Be Blood from 2007. Paul Thomas Anderson was nominated for Best Director. This was one of his Best Director nominations for this incredible film, There Will Be Blood. So the last film that I'm going to talk about in this taste of Paul Thomas Anderson films is a film that came out, I believe, at the end of last year. And this is a film that also stars an ensemble cast. Really enjoyable film that I really dug. I got it on Blu-ray a few months ago, and it's Licorice Pizza. So this is the 9th feature film from director Paul Thomas Anderson. This stars Alana Haim and Cooper Hoffman. And it is a really nice coming of age story from Philip Seymour Hoffman about young people growing up in the San Fernando Valley in the 1970s, early 1970s, when this film is set in. And it's a really, really nice film. Interestingly enough, this film includes an homage to Philip Seymour Hoffman, because in this film, Cooper Hoffman here plays a young man, Gary Valentine, who I believe buys a mattress business, and that's an homage to Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, character he played in Punch Drunk Love. He played Dean Trumbull, who was the owner of a mattress store in Punch Drunk Love. So that's sort of an homage to his father in this film. And this is just a fascinating film. I have a review of Licorice Pizza on the channel, so definitely check out my review of this Blu-ray release. I don't know why this did not come out in 4K, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if this came out in 4K sometime next year. And if it does, I might very well pick it up. This is a beautifully shot film. The music in this film is, in my opinion, probably alone worth the price of picking up this title. It's an amazing, amazing release. Check out my review on this channel. There is a song in here from Paul McCartney, Let Me Roll It. And when it plays, that sequence of when this song plays is so on point, as well as all the other musical cues in this film. The music soundtrack for Licorice Pizza is double thumbs up, top notch, all the way around. Double thumbs, 2 thumbs, see? 2 thumbs. All the way around, fantastic. Definitely check out Licorice Pizza. So yeah, so those are the 4 films that I want to talk about as this taste of Paul Thomas Anderson films. But let me know what you think about these 4 films, about Magnolia from '99, Punch Drunk Love from 2002, There Will Be Blood from 2007. Will this get a 4K Ultra HD release soon? And what do you think about Licorice Pizza? What do you think about Paul Thomas Anderson films? And what are some of your favorites from this great director? Again, like I said, I am just now discovering more of PTA's films. I've seen Licorice Pizza, I've seen Punch Drunk Love, I've seen parts of There Will Be Blood. Need to see the rest of it, but I'm waiting for it to come out on 4K, and I have yet to see Magnolia. But let me know in the comment section, what other films from Paul Thomas Anderson would you recommend? Let us know that in the comment section below. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time at the movies. Peace.